Cribben. We're doing something a little different. Um, we're doing a top 5 of our games of 2015. It's going to be a sort of roundup of what we enjoyed this year. And today I am joined by Josh.
Hello.
Hello! Hello. Okie doke. So, as you're the guest, give us one of your
Would
games.
you really call me a guest? I'm always here.
You're pretty much always here, aren't you?
You
Would
just
it
can't
be a
get rid of me.
fixture or would it be a tumour? I'm not sure. Um,
That
oh,
cuts so deep.
snap! Oh!
I'm bleeding from everywhere.
I'm gonna. Here's my raccoon wounds! Um, okay, so we're not gonna juice because these games have just been. We've played so much and we've done various different things. We're just gonna kind of choose and go in some sort of gradual order of what we think peaks, but whatever comes out top may not be the best game of the year for us, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead. What would be your top fifth game?
Right. I have to say, I haven't played many of the top games this year. I've been
What do you
very
mean, AAA
skint.
titles?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
mainly triple. Yeah.
I've been mainly playing on the PC, and this game is probably the go-to game if I'm really bored and I can't be asked to really think too much.
Oh
And that
God.
is Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be bloody Adventure Capitalist. I was going to say. I
Oh
was going
no,
to
no,
say. I
no!
always see you on that.
That's more of like when you
Josh
have a
is
game
now
on your
playing
mobile and
Adventure
you go back
Capitalist.
every now and
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Well, I guess I
It's
could
like
kind.
that, but it's not like a
Yeah,
game you can really like. It's just clicking. Well, I know that sounds really stupid, but
yeah. It's just mashing buttons. Yeah. It's
yeah,
essentially what the Steam Summer Sale was, where you just had to mash the button as much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Okay.
I want this, that, this,
Yeah.
and this.
I want the badges. Okay, so Crypt of the Necrodancer. That's the
Uh,
music-based one, isn't it? Does it use your own music, or is
yeah,
it?
so it's no, no, no. It's got its own music.
Oh, I
From the
wasn't
game,
sure. I
and
thought you could put your own in and work off of those as well. I
I
wasn't
think you
sure.
can somehow. I think you can do it through the workshop and stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
But no, this actually, despite its rather basic gameplay, it kind of reminds me like a bit of. Did you ever play any of the old I want to say Legend of Zelda games? It's like that kind of pixel style.
I played a few of the
Um,
old ones, but I know the
it's,
I know the
it's
style of art. Yeah, it's very retro
yeah,
arcade.
so it's a pixel art. Yeah, exactly, retro arcades, and it's really frustrating. That's why I love it.
It's so annoying. I
Because
love it.
it's just the aim of the game is you get to the tempo of each level, and you beat the boss of each floor, and then you move down a level again.
Hmm.
And despite how many hours I've actually furiously mashed into it, I've hardly unlocked anything.
Okay, okay.
It's just so infuriating.
All right. Well, we'll move on then, and I will say straight off the bat that this one came out very early in the year, and I banged on about it, and there's plenty of videos over it. It's Evolve. It has to be
Oh
Evolve.
yes,
Evolve has to sit there now. I completely forgot this came out this year because we played it at EGX, didn't we? And
we did. We played it last year.
I beat the shit out of the lot of you, and from
God,
that
this
point
story never
on,
ends, does it?
no, it doesn't. From that point on, I fell in love with the game, and I just kind of had to have it at that point. And I've still got the
I have to say,
T-shirt I
do
got and
you
all that.
only enjoy being
Yeah,
the monster though?
that's the problem. That is the problem I have with it. And a few of these games that are coming up are pretty much multiplayer based because that's all we seem to have played recently, or all that I've
Yeah,
really
that's fair.
played this year. And it seems to be kind of a growing trend in it. It's getting a bit annoying, but we'll get there soon enough. Um, but yeah, Evolve particularly, because it was just a very creative idea. It got stale after a little while, but for that period of time I had it, and their view on DLC was also just fantastic. You had the season pass, which occasionally would give you new fixtures and all this sort of stuff, I believe. Um, but they never really were game changing, and they didn't divide
Mm.
the player base, which is the huge problem with things like COD. It's where you get people with new map packs, and they get this whole other section to them. And if you don't have the map packs, you are pretty much secluded to the basic maps with very few people still with them, sort of thing.
Mm.
Um, and also, a lot of their DLC was sort of a customization, which was very good as well. And it's like that doesn't
Mm.
appeal to me, but it didn't try and bleed everyone dry, which was nice. It's very nice,
Okay.
and I
Did you feel that the
appreciate that
game
from
was
them.
balanced? Because I
Um,
remember hearing lots of things like, oh, one side was too strong,
it
or
did start off like that. It did start off as the monster. It was very good, very very easy. Um,
Mm.
but when people started to catch a drift of what they were doing and the sort of map layout and where the monster would typically go, the sort of habit, it kind of switched on its head and you had to be a bit creative with it. And you just literally could get very aggressive very quickly. And that kind of changed that up, and I thought that was quite fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then, Josh, give us your number 4.
My number 4 is the remake of Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask
Majora's Mask. Oh bloody
on the
hell!
3DS.
I was gonna say that was on 3DS, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep, it came out earlier this year, and this game brought back memories. I remember playing this game on the GameCube remaster,
Mhm.
the Legend of Zelda
Yeah.
Master Collection. That was it. And I never finished it back then, because as you know, like the time you have to set the time back to before the not Hyrule,
I can't
wherever it is
remember.
destroyed. I
I'm
haven't
not
played
sure
in so
if I
long.
actually played it. I remember playing the original, the N64 Legend of Zelda
Ocarina of Time,
Ocarina of
is it?
Time. Yeah, I remember playing that, but I cannot remember Majora's Mask. So, yeah,
It's it's the usual one. You go to different places. Different
yeah,
like the Gorons and the whatsoever. But yeah, this has just really brought back memories, and the fact that it looks so nice.
yeah. I
And
guess it was
also
quite a
I
bit of a
couldn't stop.
nostalgia kick,
On a
wasn't it? Really.
3DS, I couldn't put the console down, which my eyes regret deeply from the 3D.
I am now permanently scarred.
I am now blind,
Okay,
but worth it.
worth that. Okay then. So next that would be me. Number
Yep.
4. Um, I've got a list. I have a list in front of me, and it's just full of things, and I'm debating it. I'm looking at it and going, which one would I pick next? And I don't fucking know. That's the problem. Um, let's go for another multiplayer one that we play, which would be Rocket League.
That was gonna be mine as well,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, that would sit with me as number 4, simply because there's been a lot done. The DLC and all that sort of stuff has been quite fun,
Hmm.
and they haven't screwed people over, and just the game mechanics are very good, and it's something very different. But other than that, I don't think it's anything game changing. Obviously, it was very popular, and it was
No,
like
but
one of the top viewed games on YouTube for what, 2 months? I think it was something stupid like that.
a long time, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
definitely popular.
Sorry. As I was gonna say, what I like about it is that if you put more hours into it, you can clearly get better and do like ridiculous stuff with it, and I do enjoy that part of it.
Yeah,
And also the ridiculous customizations, which is just endless fun,
there has been some
ridiculous.
fantastic bits done to it. Yeah. Okay then. So was that
Uh,
going to be your number 3 or?
that was going to be my number 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we know your number 3 now. Um, so I'll skip on to my number
Do you want to go
3.
your next one?
Yeah, I was going to say I'll jump straight to my next third one, which I'm struggling. I'm very much struggling for this one because I know the top 2. I know the top two, and I've got.
I reckon one of yours is going to be one of mine as well.
Well, I think we both know what's going to happen with one of them anyway. But
Probably, yeah.
um, oh Christ! Should have probably like. I sat there last night and I thought I just don't know. I honestly don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say The Escape is The Walking Dead
Ooh,
because
okay, yep.
it's an indie title. It's somewhat different, and honestly, compared to the rest of them, I think it's something different. It's not a AAA title that's just blown out of proportion or anything like that. It is a very bare bones game, or when I say bare bones, it's a very standard game with a very good art style, and it uses one of my favourite universes. And if I'm honest, you can't beat
Yes.
that.
Would you say that
Would you?
because it's in the Walking Dead
It's
universe, you love it more?
potentially, potentially,
Yeah, if it was
yes.
just a normal escapist kind of version,
Well, I haven't played the
would you
original
enjoy
one,
it as
so I
much?
still, so I still need to, well, not
Crack on
acclimatise
that.
myself. I need to get onto that and just kind of see that. But I really enjoyed it and its mechanics. It's a very difficult game. It isn't easy to play. It's not easy to pick up and just go. You've got to very much think about it, and you've got to be very clever about what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought that was very good and that was very fun, and I enjoyed that EGX. I thought that was well worth the
Yeah, that was
11
nice to
quid it
come
was.
across.
Yeah, and for 11 quid, you can't really go wrong, because that's what it cost me for a comic. And a comic takes me about an hour. Or I say a comic, the, what do you call it? Oh, not the album, the issue. You know what I mean, the volume that comes out every month. Um, or
Oh,
every few
yeah.
months, yeah. That cost me 10 quid or so, and the game cost me 11, so it's very worth it. I got a lot more time out of it, and if you go over onto the, or if you go watch our other videos, you will know that I spend an awful lot of time on it. A lot of
What's it?
time. Sponsored! Okay, alright then. Number two. Go for it.
Right, my number two. I can't. I think you have played it, and I remember you raging about the release date for this. It's Dying Light.
Oh, that's on my list. That is on my list. Yeah,
It's
go
on
on
your
then.
list. Oh, good, good, good.
Go on then.
So
What was I
I
raging about
originally,
again? I can't remember.
because the PC version
Oh
came out
yeah,
before the Xbox
yeah, you
version.
bastards. Yeah, the PC for some reason got that before we did on the console. So yeah, I felt kind of
Yeah.
cheated out of that.
So I originally got this game because it's like one. It said it came out for Linux.
Hmm.
Nope, 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 nope. So I remember I spent hours downloading this game. I thought, oh yes, this is gonna be awesome. Let's play. Nope,
And then it fucked
it
you right in
looked
the A, didn't
awful
it?
in the Linux.
Awful in the Linux.
So I had to re-download it on Windows, and I'm so glad I did because it was a lot of fun. And like the running around at nighttime scared
It
the
is,
shit out of me.
yeah, yeah. I think that really is a very definitive zombie game that we really
Yes,
have been
like
looking
I think
for.
that's a lot. What zombie games are missing this kind of factor that okay, oh shit, this is actually terrifying.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, it's not so much like jump scares like a lot of horror games are nowadays.
Yeah, it's very much
It's
about the
just
survival aspect
it's
of it.
yeah, survival, and you really do feel like you're being hunted,
Yeah,
but you also still feel in control of your environment because you can do the parkour, and you can customize weapons.
yeah.
Which probably I did find a problem with that you could customize weapons so much that it was just OP.
It did seem a bit comical, I think
Yeah,
would be the
so
word
like
for it, yeah.
electric swords that just killed everything in one shot and shot. I mean,
Yeah, I was always very. Because when I play things like that, as you well know, I'm petrified of zombies, so it just really gets very tense for me. And literally, as soon as I saw the sun go down, if it was like midday and the sun was going down, I'd be like, I'm going fucking home, and I'm going to stay at home, and I'm never coming
hmm.
out again. And literally, even when it. Because it had this mechanic and it didn't hide it away. It didn't try and scare you off it continuously. It actually pushed you out into it sometimes, and that is when
Mm.
it got scary because you knew
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen. You didn't just quite casually go out like, "Oh yeah, I can beat this." It was a legitimate threat, and so were all the rest of the
yeah,
zombies as well. They weren't as fast, but they were bloody terrifying if you got caught out in it. So yeah,
yeah.
I think that's
But
totally worthy of it because that was on my list, and I was going to put that up there in somewhere.
yeah, one thing what I would have liked to done is actually played multiplayer because I didn't actually touch multiplayer.
I didn't. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't team deathmatch or anything like that, was it? It was a sort of co-op,
It was like
online
yeah, it was
co-op.
like a co-op.
Yeah, like Dead Island.
Yes, but I think that would have been just really fun, and I'm really disappointed that I never actually got around to doing that.
Yeah, well, I think there's still a community of people who still play it, but as ever, when it comes to something like that, you've always got to be wary of who you play with because it's not.
Yeah,
It's always my problem is you cannot trust the people you play with. Well, it's not even a matter
yeah,
of
yeah. They can
trust.
always
You've
just
got
screw
to,
you over.
yeah, they might not even want to play with you and they just be an asshole and kick you out of the game or whatever like that.
Yeah. Also, when I was living beforehand, my internet wasn't as good, so I
Oh
could never
yeah,
really
oh
do
yeah,
it.
yes, yes, I know that feeling. Okay, well then we'll move on to my number two, which is fairly obvious, and I'm sure this might be your number one. I'm not sure, but it would be Ark
Probably is
Survival
if I think
Evolved.
it's. Yeah, that's my number
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it kind of has to be. It's in early access, so it's a bit of a cheesy one, but it is just so fucking good. All right, we haven't
Well,
played
it's
much
coming
of it
out on
recently.
Xbox in 3 days.
In 3 days.
Yeah, the
Fuck, I
16th.
didn't realise that. Um, but that's sort of a beta, isn't it, sort of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's got. What I really like about it is they're a development team that have come out. They're backed by EA, which is a bit scary for people, but they have a 1 year development plan. So it will be out
yeah,
next year, which is just fantastic. And everything we've got has always been pretty much continuous updates. There's been one a week or something like that, at least over the
yeah.
last
It's quite constant.
month or so. Yeah, and they're always adding new things. And sure, some of the crap they've added, as of recently, and if you've watched the previous videos, you know we get pretty angry with it. The fact that,
We get pretty lazy as well.
yeah, well, it's kind of understandable when their way of increasing difficulty has become increase the amount of time it takes, which isn't great
Mm.
for public servers and all this because it will just screw your player base over. It'll be interesting
Yeah,
to see
it's a
what
game where
happens
you
on the
have to
Xbox.
constantly be on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens on the Xbox because online functionality like that are people going to be glued to their Xbox playing it, especially on an official server, and what's going to happen with unofficial servers and mods and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
How are they going to implement those? And as ever with the community, we are rather pissed off that the Xbox One get a load of benefits that we don't, sort of thing. They're getting exclusives, and it just kind of screws us over, sort of thing. Seeing we've been the ones who
yeah.
play tested it,
Our
and
exclusive was shit compared to theirs.
oh yeah, they get a fucking robot T-Rex skin while we
T
get a
Rex, yeah.
parasaur saddle,
We get a parasaur.
or not even a parasaur. It's just a parasaur skin, isn't it? So it's very lackluster, but I think it definitely deserves up there because we've got so much playtime. I've got about 450
Oh,
hours, I
we
think
have,
it
yeah.
is, and I know
I think
people.
mine's 362.
Yeah, I know people who've got thousands of hours in it, and it's ridiculous how much time they
Mm.
spent on it. But it is definitely one of those games that is going to be huge next year, and
Yeah.
it will probably blow away the competition. So
I think that's what also I like about it. It's constantly growing.
yes, yeah, it's always changing, and the player base is also huge. Even
Yes.
now, I'm still seeing it with 50,000 people online in game and all that, and it's just like shit. That is
I think what I also like
fucking
about it is
good.
the RP possibilities.
Oh god, you and the fucking RP.
Oh,
Oh,
it's so fun.
oh, well,
Just the ridiculous scandals you get up to.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, considering that was your number one, I'm just going to skip straight ahead and say my number one, which was
Yep.
obvious. It very, very obvious. It's Fallout 4. And I'll also combine that with Fallout Shelter, the promotional app game, because it's kind of the
I'll
same
agree with
thing.
Fallout Shelter because I can't put it down.
Yeah, but Fallout 4, alright, it's buggy as all hell. It's a sort of reskin of Skyrim, and it's not as pretty as it could be. But I think that they have released a game that is very intuitive and very fun, and that's really the key point of it, and that's what I really enjoy about it. I've got fucking days, I think literally 4 days worth of time in it, and I've still got things I want to do. I'm literally achievement hunting, and that's it. It's a fantastic game. I love the shelter building, and I just love the narrative of it. It's a very good story, and as I said in my review over on the website, the opening scene with the customization is just astonishing. You really feel it for the characters. I couldn't help it. You get the story and you get that cinematic, which is just stunning as well. And it comes in. You've got these two characters, and you've probably seen it on Sips's channel or whatever when he's customizing his character. But the interaction between the
Yes.
pair of them is so nice, and I think it's really sweet between them, where they're chatting to each other as you design your character. And I just think that's totally worth. And I'm surprised it didn't win. Well, I'm not surprised it didn't win Game of the Year, if you know what I mean. But it should be very, very special this year.
Mm.
But other than that, do you have any notable mentions that we haven't spoken about?
Um, no, I. There's a lot of games I want to get around to playing,
Mm,
but nothing that I've played that I've already haven't mentioned really.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I will say I've got a few others on my list.
Yeah, go
Let's
ahead.
start with The Witcher. Now, I didn't get to play this, and it's one game of the year. I haven't actually played the series at all, but it's always one of those that's been on my list, and it will.
Hmm.
It's so up my street, you know, and I can almost
Yeah, so
guarantee
you haven't played any of the previous ones?
no. And I've got them. I've got them all ready to play. Sorry, the dog's scrabbling at my shoulder. Leave me alone, you little shite.
It's like,
Come on,
let me speak. I
over
want
you
to
come.
talk to them.
Yeah, yeah, I really like this dog game. Fuck off. Right.
What about my favorite movie?
Um, but yeah, it's really up my street, and I think it would be one of those games that would honestly stand as some of the best that I've played. It just looks
Hmm.
like that, and it just literally it rocks my boat. Um, and I'll also talk about Syndicate. Probably one of the best games we've received from Ubisoft in quite a while. It's been fairly weak on their part recently, but Syndicate really kind of polishes it up. Sure, it's got a few little glitches here and there, but it is far better than Unity, and the story was actually quite good. Very typical, but
Okay.
I love the environment and the few little mechanics they added. And obviously, we've got Rainbow Six and Battlefront, which are two
Yeah.
I'm enjoying. I'm not so much enjoying Battlefront. That they've added the Battle of Jakar and all this sort of stuff, and I don't think that that's very well balanced. Rainbow Six is very well balanced. It's very difficult and it's very strategic, which I love
Hmm.
about it. But you can't play it on your own, and you can't play it with
I
a
think
bunch
what
of
they've done really
retards.
well with Star Wars is just the marketing time. You know,
Yes,
the movie's coming out in a few days,
exactly, and I
and
think that's what
yeah,
they
the
did.
game is just a marketing scheme for it.
Yeah, I literally think that is probably what they did, and they rushed development of it, and they haven't given themselves enough because the game is pretty bare. There is very little game modes, and there is very little variation between characters and people and all this sort of stuff with weapons. Some of the weapons are
Hmm.
OP, and honestly, because I didn't play it much when it came out, because Fallout 4, better things to be doing, um, everyone is already max level, or the majority of the people are already max level, and it just kind of ruins that player field because you get dropped
Yeah.
in with fucking people that are level 50 with all of the weapons, all of the gear, max upgraded shit, and all this, and it's just a bit like I cannot compete with these people. I am not on the right level to be facing them. They've got 30, 40 hours in it, and I've got 10. It's just not very well balanced and not very well done. But I will
Yeah.
say that the air combat, great fun. Needs a little bit of tidying up, but great fun. And the environment is just fucking amazing. It looks so good. Absolutely astonishing. Now, if I was to put like a 1080p video out, it would literally take me 2 years to upload it. So I've never been able to do a 1080p video for it. But fuck me, was it good? It looks incredible, and hopefully we will see more games coming out that look that fucking good.
Yeah, I do kind of want to just play it 'cause I haven't played it since I played it at EGX,
Yeah,
but it definitely does look load of fun.
yeah, and I think when it comes after Christmas sort of time, and it starts to drop price, I think it will totally be worth it at that point. Simply because very little, it's not worth the 50 quid tag on it. Really not. Very expensive and overpriced for it, but there you go, that's EA. Is it EA? I think it's EA that done it, yeah. But there we go. So, we have rounded out our top 5 games of 2015. And we'll move on to the movies in a minute. We'll jump over to another video. So if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. Tell us what your top 5 games are if you have a particular order, and any honourable mentions that you have. And yeah, go over to the website, check out Dan's reviews and all this sort of stuff that he will be doing on movies and any reviews we've done on the games we've spoken about. But thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you next time. Doodles!
Bye bye.